drummers, and welcome to Tim Connolly Drums. Today we are doing a Foo Fighters inspired lesson. Basically, we're taking the song Hero, and while I'm not actually showing you how to play the groove itself, I'm sort of giving you primers and how to develop the technique. Because one thing that I notice on YouTube for a lot of things is people will show you how to play the groove of a song, for example. And they'll play it, they'll break it down to some degree, but they really don't show you the technique and even some exercises that you can do to develop this technique. So it's easy for somebody to say, this is how you do it and demonstrate, but what techniques did they develop to be able to play those grooves? That's what my focus is. How do we play these grooves? Well, we have to develop the technique. So today we're going to learn how to get the bass drum, the beater, to bounce off the bass drum head. Okay? So we're going to get the beater to bounce off the head, because if you know the song Hero, there's a heck of a lot of bass drum in it. And it's all single bass. And it's a great song. We're not going to learn the song today, maybe in another lesson, but we're just going to work on some bass drum techniques inspired from that song. Let me just explain something to you, how I developed this technique. It's partially from drum lessons that I've taken in the past, and secondarily, it's from my own experience of trying to play a lot of gigs night after night after night, say on a tour or something, and my hip flexors starting to give out on me, literally starting to give out, and I was getting cramping, I was getting pain. And it was because I had my heel up so much and engaging the hip flexor and engaging the muscle around that tendon that I wasn't relaxing it at any point. And as a result, it would get worn out over a show. By the end of the show, I was having trouble walking off the stage. So that's why I developed these techniques to try and ease that suffering. And it worked for me beautifully. I've never had any hip flexor pain ever since this technique that I somewhat developed. I'm sure other guys use it. I'm not saying that I'm the complete inventor. It's just a technique that I use based off of the Steve Gadd heel toe thing, or where he goes like this. Now, I tried that. Dom Famulero showed that to me, and he's really good at it, but I wasn't really great at it. What I found worked better was the toe going down and the heel going down kind of simultaneously, like a Moeller stroke. And I remember showing that to Dom, and he says, holy geez, that's a Moeller stroke. So basically the technique that I use is a Moeller stroke type of technique. That's basically what I use. And I'll demonstrate that, of course, in the video. Okay, so we're going to look at how to get the bass drum to efficiently bounce off the head, and it's all about technique. Okay, so what I like to do is, rather than burying the beater, which I see a lot of drummers do, which is this, when you do that, the reason I don't like that is because you take away the spring's ability to create bounces. So in other words, it's the same as driving your stick into the drum and not letting the stick bounce. That's how I see it. So I like to get the bass drum to bounce. And of course, control the bounces with your feet. Control the beater. Also can create dynamics doing it like this as well. So soft, louder. So here's another example of my approach. It's kind of like a Moeller stroke in a way, because what's happening is my toe is up, my heel goes down, and I create somewhat of a whipping motion like that. Now it's all one motion when I do that strike. Now heel up, you're like this. But when I'm down, I bring my heel down. So if I was doing individual bass drums, the toe is up, heel comes down. It's all one motion, one motion. Like I said, if I'm doing multiple hits, heels up till I am no longer wanting the heel to be up, and I release it. So it's like almost like tension and release in another way to look at it. Moeller stroke on the bass drum pedal. I'm done though, the heel goes down. That's what's going to save your hip flexors, because your hip flexors are being used when you go like this. Drop your foot, your hip flexors can relax, you will survive the gig. So I briefly just wanted to touch on the kind of shoes that I use. Some people like barefoot, some people like to be in their socks, some people like to be in running shoes, sandals, whatever. I like these Puma shoes. They're a walking shoe. They're very comfortable. They're very thin, as you can see, and I really enjoy them because I can feel the pedal, and I can feel the pedal against it really nicely. And I stumbled across these. It was by accident, influenced by the Neil Peart and Dave Weckl type drum shoe, and this kind of looked like it, and I thought, geez, they're really nice and thin. I wonder if it'll work, and it did. It's a great shoe, and I really enjoy wearing them, and I find that they're a really comfortable shoe, and easy to slip on and off. Great for drumming. I really, really enjoy them. Okay, drummers, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope the video helped. I hope my Moeller stroke approach to the bass drum helped out a little bit, and utilizing the spring and all the little tips, not being too far up the board of the pedal, etc., etc. I hope that it helped, and I hope that this really, really helps you if you're having any hip flexor problems, or you're just having problems getting repetitive notes off the bass drum. Now, it's not about speed. I mean, obviously, I've seen some guys do ridiculous tempos, but for the Hero song, the BPMs are 77. So my target was to go above 77, and I ended up at about 85 comfortably. So hopefully you guys can get something out of this, and I want to thank my new subscribers. I'm only 2 off 6,700. So if you're watching this video, be kind, subscribe. I want to get over 6,700. I'm so close. And it's a slow moving process sometimes getting subscribers and whatnot. So I want to thank everybody that has recently subscribed. And I want you to stay tuned for some upcoming fantastic videos that I have lined up. I've always got ideas going through my head about what I can do for the next video. In the meantime, keep drumming. See ya.